need Turkish residency? That is a very important question that may cost you $200,000. You see, to get Turkish residency, which is a pathway to citizenship, you have to fork out $200,000 and buy property and then register, and then you have to live in Turkey for a certain period of time, 5 years, and within that period of time, 5 years, you cannot be absent more than 1 year cumulatively. So within a year, perhaps you can be absent for 2 months, and that way you will get to about 10 months out of 5 years, which is good enough, etc. And then you may qualify to apply for citizenship, but not necessarily get the citizenship, because there is still a process, and who knows, maybe you will be granted, maybe not, and maybe the law will change. That's another interesting thing. As I told you, in Turkey, laws change quite quickly for reasons which are not known to us, but sometimes they roll back, and you never know what's going to happen in 5 years. In fact, you don't even know what hell happened to you. I met recently a person who doesn't want to be resident anywhere, and he doesn't want to be a tax resident anywhere either. And there is a way of doing that. You may consider that. There are people who actually move into Serbia right now, and Serbia, for reasons of English language, is a lot better than Turkey. In Serbia, practically everybody speaks English, and for that reason it's easy. It is also cheaper right now than Turkey, and it is still Southern Europe. There are people who move into Georgia, which is a country of Georgia on the Black Sea, also for various reasons, many Westerns. But if you look a little bit more broadly, there is Albania, there is even Russia and Ukraine. I know what you will say, it is probably not a good time to move there and live there, but there are foreigners who move to Russia right now, and there are foreigners who move to Ukraine for their own reasons. And they live there, some of them buy properties there, so people do all sorts of things. This particular person which I met, he doesn't want it. What his idea is, and to me it's kind of appealing. I actually started reconsidering certain things about my strategy, and perhaps it will be interesting to you. Look, in Turkey, besides that it's been expensive now, it's getting more expensive, and that's a different story. Summer is really hot and humid, and you walk on the street and you come out, it's like you've been to steam room. Turkish hammam is not the one which you go to get just clean. Turkish hammam right now in June and July and August is just walking on the street midday, and pretty much that's Turkish hammam, particularly in Antalya. In other places it may be different, but here when you have humidity at 60 and you have 40 degrees heat or 35 degrees heat, you will sweat. It's guaranteed. So for the summer, many people choose to move. They either move to the mountains where temperatures are lower, or they move to another country, somewhere up north. If you have Schengen visa, perhaps you can move to Romania, you can move to Bulgaria, because cost of living there is reasonable. You can rent an apartment, and I'm talking about pretty decent size apartment in a decent city, pretty big city, maybe even Bucharest or Sofia, for roughly 400, maybe 500 euro per month. And if you stay there for about 3 months, it's a great value. You can spend there, and then you can decide where you can move again. In the spring, in the autumn, in Turkey, it's wonderful. It's a paradise. But so is Georgia, Republic of Georgia, and so is Serbia. Maybe you're not English speaker, maybe you speak other languages, but for instance in Serbia everybody speaks English, so it's a good idea. Georgia is becoming a lot more international too. Then you have Albania, and in the winter, when I would say Turkey is also not that great, because the winter here could be windy, it could be cool, it could be rainy, particularly February, usually it's rainy. You could move to South Asia. Once you look at that, you come to the point where you may decide that it's not a bad idea to have property in Turkey, but to fork $200,000 to buy a flat, it's maybe excessive, particularly if you're alone. If you are just one person, why would you want to buy property for $200,000? If your passport permits you to stay in Turkey for 3 months or 90 days within 180 days period, which means you can come to Turkey twice a year for a period of 3 months, you can buy a smaller apartment, less expensive apartment, right here in Turkey. And you can come and spend spring here and autumn. And it's great. You enjoy yourself. In the summer, if you have Schengen visa, you move to Europe. In the winter, you go to South Asia. And South Asia right now is pretty much open to everybody. For the same reason, I don't think it's a great idea to buy property, for instance, in Thailand. But there are some exceptions. There are certain places in Thailand and other places in South Asia where the temperature doesn't vary very much. And there are other places in the world which are the same thing. And if you want to stay in one place, if you don't particularly care about traveling, that's a good idea. And that's one of the reasons why people come to Turkey. But on the other hand, you are kind of stuck there. Unless you really fall in love, and there are some people who fall in love with the country and culture, etc. I'm not talking about those. But if you work remotely, if you are on fixed income, perhaps you have a decent pensionship, and maybe you have $1,500, maybe you have $200,000, then you can do all of those things. So ask yourself, do you really need Turkish residency? Does it really necessary for you to live here? In fact, I'm actually reconsidering myself right now there. Maybe I should spend a little bit more time abroad in different countries, because there are different countries. And why not take this opportunity? We live only once, and it will enrich my life. It will probably give me some different ideas. I probably will meet some different people, because every place you go, it attracts certain people, and those are the people which you meet. You see, about Antalya, there is one question which I ask myself: why rich people don't really come here? I mean, there are some of them, but it's not Dubai by any means, and there are some other countries. Why those people don't come here? And the answer is, it takes really an effort to build up value of the place. You have to spend some time to advertise and continue bringing those people in, so you can actually create an organic flow of those people. This year in February, the Association of Hotels in Turkey, they declared we are going to bring rich people to Turkey, etc. What I see, it's not happening, at least not this tourist season. It didn't happen last tourist season and tourist season before. What I see right now, and that is from my sources, the tourists which come to Turkey are really tight. Their wallets and purses are closed. They come here for all-inclusive, they stay there, and they get out. And it's not good for the economy, because what's happening right now with the economy, I think it's becoming more and more state-dependent economy and less private. I could be wrong. I'm Vas. Welcome to my channel. Subscribe, leave some comments. Good luck.